Hello everyone, welcome to Orange Tactical. Today we're going to be talking about the difference between the Glock 43 and the Springfield Armory's Hellcat. So here I have a Glock 43, you can see there's no magazine and nothing in the chamber. And here I have a Hellcat. This is just the standard Hellcat, not the Hellcat Pro. You can see no magazine and nothing in the chamber. So the differences between the Hellcat and the Glock 43. Both of these are very common concealed carry weapons. So, on the size, the Glock 43 is just a little bit longer than the Hellcat. The Glock 43 is 6.26 inches long and the Hellcat is 6 inches long. Height-wise, the Hellcat is 4 inches long and the Glock 43 is 4 1/4. When I hold them up next to each other, they seem pretty close in height. If you line the slides up, they're about the same, but if you line the grips up, the Glock 43 angles up a little bit more, so I'm not exactly sure how they're measuring that, but in my hand, size-wise, they feel pretty darn close in height. And then width-wise, the Glock 43 is 1.06 inches wide, and the Hellcat is 1 inch wide. Again, I'm not sure that the Glock 43 is 1.06 inches wide in your hand. It is probably at the widest point right here at this grip extension. I said the same thing in the comparison to the P365 video with the Glock 43, that it doesn't feel as wide as the P365. I think the same thing about the Hellcat. The Hellcat feels wider in my hand, but according to all the measurements I can find online, it is a little bit narrower. So I don't know if Glock just measured it different or what that is, but the Hellcat does feel wider, even though the measurements say it's narrower. So as far as capacity goes for the magazines, the Hellcat comes with an 11 round, a 13 round, and I think you can get a 15 round. Here I have the 11 round flush fit with the finger extension, and then the Glock 43 comes with a 6 round. So that's a single stack versus double stack. But the mags are about the same length. So I can go ahead and drop these empty mags into the firearms here. And you can see that they're both flush mags with pinky extensions. As I said, there is an extended mag for the Hellcat. I just don't have the extended 13 round with me. So if you look at it with the mags in, you can see that even with the mags in, they're about the same. So for a 6 round from the Glock to the 11 flush mag with the Hellcat, you get a lot more capacity out of the Hellcat. So that's the big differences size-wise, and comparing the capacity of both of them. The other big difference between the Hellcat and the Glock is the Hellcat comes optic ready, or this Hellcat is optic ready. The Glock 43 is not typically optic ready unless you get the MOS edition, and those are a little bit more expensive. But I think most if not all Hellcats are pre-cut, so if you wanted to put optics on them, obviously this Hellcat doesn't have the optics. But as far as trigger goes, you get a very similar trigger between the Glock and the Hellcat. The Hellcat's trigger I think is a little bit flatter than the Glock trigger, but they are both the safety trigger, and then have a clean break on them. And I don't have all the trigger specs of what the triggers are. I probably like the Hellcat trigger a little bit more than the Glock 43, but they both have the safety catch in the trigger. Obviously they both have other internal safeties along with the trigger safety. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you like this content, please like this video and subscribe to this channel, or subscribe to Orange Tactical for more content like this. Thanks. Have a great day.